Welcome to It's All Mental podcast. My name is Asiat, and in today's episode, we want to dissect and talk about suicide because September is Suicide Prevention Month, and we want to reflect and get to understand what are some of the things that really affect us and lead people to do the unimaginable, because behind every statistic, there is a reason behind why someone wants to attempt or even has those thoughts of committing suicide. And with me today, I have a psychotherapist who has supported people to go through all these challenges, and she has been able to help most of them to rethink what they have been thinking to do. And I believe she has a lot to share with us today because we want to share a lot in this very month of September. And her name is Lydia Nalukwago. She's a psychotherapist and she has worked with the refugees. She has worked with a lot of communities, people who have challenges with mental health related issues, and she's going to share a lot with us today. So Lydia, you're much welcome to It's All Mental podcast. You can say something little to the audience that is watching us today.
Thank you so much, Asiat. I'm glad and honored to be hosted here. It's All Mental. What a privilege to be hosted here, as one of the things that I'm so passionate about. Talking about mental health is something I can wake up anytime, any day to talk about, because it's something that is very, very important to everybody. Everything starts and ends with the mind. So I'm glad that I've been hosted at a time when we're having this campaign on preventing suicide. Like this year, the theme is about restoring hope through actions. And this is a call to everybody, the communities, the families, individuals, to ensure that we restore hope in people, to see that they don't commit suicide, to see that we live in harmony and also deal with the different distresses that people are undergoing. I'm a mental health practitioner. I've practiced for more than 8 years, and I have supported communities, I've interacted with individuals, and I'm sure this interaction is going to be a learning for many people.
Yes, I know each and every one of us who is watching out, they're going to be able to pick one or two things as the conversation goes on. So, well, Lydia, when we talk about suicide, there is a lot of stigma that is around it.
Yeah.
And people, when someone has these thoughts, they really don't want to go ahead and talk about it. Could you tell us, what do you think are some of the reasons as to why you find that vis-a-vis the fact that we have challenges, we have these thoughts, many tend to keep it to themselves and they don't want to share about these suicidal thoughts or whatever they are really going through at that particular point?
Thank you, Asiat. To begin with, suicide itself is an intentional act. People can plan to take their lives. And the reason as to why many people never want to talk about it, they are broad. They are at individual level, community level, because of what you have already mentioned about the stigma. When people are going through challenges or they are deeply undergoing a distress, many of them will fear, what will people say? They fear to be judged. If not, they have already been judged, so they choose to keep to themselves what they are undergoing. So it becomes so difficult to come out and speak about what they're going through. So in that case, because death by suicide is loss of hope, someone loses hope, and so they choose to take their lives in any way they choose to take their lives. So the reason as to why they don't talk about it is they fear to be judged. They have lost hope. They have looked east, north, west, and south, and there is no solution. So they're like, why am I even living? I'm better off dead. I don't see my worth. Why don't I take my life? So there are so many factors. There are actually so many. There is no a single factor that we can say that this is why the person has committed suicide or has caused death by suicide. They are broad. They are number. They're an intersection of them.
Do you think also the criminalization of suicide, especially in Uganda, also makes people to become silent about it? Because when someone attempts to commit suicide, especially here in Uganda, it's taken as a crime. So do you think also that is a factor that is really influencing people to keep quiet? Because someone says that I cannot report about my person because at the end of the day, they are going to be imprisoned, they are going to be arrested. So do you think that is also a driver to making people, keep to themselves, and even they don't want to talk about, even just talking about the thoughts?
Yeah, it can be a contributing factor. The mere fact that because someone who is going to commit suicide or has attempted suicide or has committed, like has died by suicide, they have underground reasons why they're committing suicide. The mere fact that maybe if I go even and report to authorities, they'll take me in the cells. They would rather keep quiet about it. They would rather devise means of taking their lives. They probably take poison. Like I've told you, they do it in so many ways. They can use a rope, they can take poison, they can starve themselves because it is intentional. Someone wants to take their lives. They can throw themselves from the tall building. They can throw themselves in an accident, many ways. So that might be a contributing factor, but it may not be a single factor for them to take their lives or to attempt to take their lives.
Okay, so for someone who is out here, and remember we are in the Suicide Prevention Month, we want to create more awareness as well as restore hope in the people who have lost it. What signs should we look out for if we are talking about suicide, so that we know that these are the warning signs that someone may be having, such that we can be able to support them if we get to see these kinds of signs, and we can be in a position to, be there for them emotionally in various ways, so that they can at one point in time at least get hope.
All right. I want to also tell you, Asiat, that nobody just wakes up and takes their lives. There are so many things that happen prior. It can happen through what they say. Someone who is like, I'm tired of the world. I'm tired of doing things. You'll see there are words they say that people tend to ignore. Someone will say, when I die, in case I die, I'm seeing myself dying anytime. But in case I die, so and so you take care of my children. We shouldn't take that for granted. Someone may start isolating themselves from the rest. They stop doing things they used to do before. And they write notes. Sometimes you may find a note written somewhere and someone is writing. A will is something they tell us to write every other time. But if you find someone who has not even had a thought of even putting up a will, and then has written, when I die, my NSSF, like us who get salary, my NSSF, you give this portion to my children, my provident fund, you give this, my house in Nigeria, you do this, it's not something you take for granted. It's a warning sign. Then some of them you'll find that they are picking on habits they never had before.
The risky habits.
The risk habits. They may pick on taking a lot of alcohol. They involve themselves in risky behaviors. You'll find someone trying and tells you, I can jump from the other end of the building. Is not actually telling you to show the skill. Is actually practicing what they want to do, maybe to take their lives. Those are things that we don't need to take for granted. So the warning signs, they write notes and they keep repeating themselves. Some of them prepare. I want to tell you that many times when we are managing or supporting people who may have attempted suicide, you even ask, okay, how were you planning to do it? They'll be honest and tell you, I was going to buy poison. There is one client who told me, I read, how do you kill yourself? Okay, and like, okay, how? I bought poison, and this is what I'm going to do. So they plan. So they tell you it's not something that just comes from the blue. They have warned, either they communicated about it, they warn. There is always something they have spoken or they have done to kind of let you know.
And that's when
that
you
I'm
see
planning to
that
do
their
something.
family members are saying, "Oh, I remember this time.
Exactly.
This person was really showing this sign, but I
Exactly.
did not understand what
Exactly.
they were meaning by
Yeah.
this."
And so especially now when it comes to people who may be having mental health challenges, maybe someone is depressed. If you are aware that the person is depressed, whatever action they do or whatever they say is not something to take for granted. Actually, we would encourage families if, for example, someone tells you, you know what, I'm tired of taking these antidepressants, for example. I'm tired of taking these drugs. Take interest to ask the person, why is it that you're thinking like that? Because most of the time, these people need compassion. They need kindness. They need love. They need to give them time. Whenever people lose hope, they're going to attempt to take their lives, or they're actually going to take their lives. So we only need to give them time. We need to be part of their problem.
To listen.
To listen to them without judging them. Because, when it comes to the young people, for example, when we're growing, we go through different transitions. When it comes to the young people, many people don't understand the young people. They judge them, the way they dress, the way they talk, the way they... So if parents and caregivers or guardians don't come out to support the young people, you'll find they're going to pick on maladaptive behaviors, like bad behaviors, let me say. If they are not supported through those behaviors, these are the people who are going to be on the journey of committing suicide, of attempting suicide. So when we want to help them through what they're going through, we need to listen to them without judging them, because those are milestones each person goes through. And even when a person has been misbehaving, we need to listen to them. The family should be able to recognize that maybe the family has failed. Refer to the professional counselors. The counselors are there, the therapists are there, psychologists are there, psychiatrists are there, to see that they seek professional support, but also with support from the family where they live. Yes.
Okay, and also I see a time when people are, in terms of behavior, even they give away possessions, things that they love the most. And someone is wondering, how come so and so is giving out this, yet it is something that they love the most. How come they are giving it away? Also, you see sometimes people tend to do a lot of isolation. Someone who is so outgoing right now, they really don't.
They're no longer even part. Like we are from sports today. It's someone you knew that person is so good with soccer. Is not interested. Maybe it's a young person is interested in maybe cinema, watching movies and what. If they will be actually for the young people. I'm so passionate about the young people because this generation has been so much degenerated because of maybe digitalization, and the children or the young people are reading a lot from the internet. So they choose to isolate themselves from the rooms, or in the corners, because they have not been listened to. But each time you give time to these young people, you'll actually understand them more. You'll understand what they are going through. So when they isolate, there is a lot that is going on that we don't know. Just like how we know the young children, when a child is quiet, they are spoiling something. So the young people, when they are isolated, they're either watching something or they're undergoing a situation that, as a parent, as a caregiver, as an adult around them, we need to pay attention. But the same with the adults. Even an adult who was going to church or to a mosque every Friday stops going. That means there is something. You find a Hajat telling people that, what, guys? I'm giving away this car. The other property in Matuga, I think I'll give it to my sister Asiat. There is a question mark. Why is she doing like that? And she's not sick. Labor to know, why is she doing this? There is something going on. When you give them time, or you give that person time, you will know that something is not right somewhere. It's not normal to just give away your things, It's not normal to just isolate. It's not normal to say, I'm tired of the world. And Asiat, another thing I need to maybe let you know is we all go through challenges, and we can also feel like
The suicidal thoughts.
I'm done. But what makes a difference with these ones who take their lives, or who attempt to really take their lives, is that it becomes severe. The times consistently come. It consistently come. That's why we normally check and you're like, how many times has this happened? For the last 2 weeks, how many has it? How many times?
Days?
How many days? When did it last happen? If you see the person is talking about consistently, don't take it for granted. But even when it is once, we need to talk about it so that it does not resurface. It starts with one it goes to two, it goes to three. The fourth time,
continuous.
Life is gone.
Yes.
And we don't want to lose. Every person's life matters. Yeah, that's why now this year theme of we want to restore people's hope by doing action. Action is how? Can we listen? Can we go to the community and create awareness? And the surprising thing, where I work in the refugee communities, this is more or less like we create awareness. But here, for example, in Kampala, in the communities in development,
It's not there.
it's not there, but the cases are there. You can hear people have taken their lives. They have taken the weed, the what? The herbicides for the weeds.
Yes.
That is all committing suicide. They don't talk about it. But when you go into people's families, they're undergoing domestic violence.
Yes.
There is a lot of child abuse. There is a lot of fighting between the men, the women. The children are being sexually abused by either the caregivers. Even the caregivers are sexually abused by their bosses. That little girl in your house will go and commit suicide when it goes back to their home. So there is a lot that is going on. When we go to our workplaces,
A lot is happening.
a lot
there.
is happening. Bosses, all supervisors are doing lots of things to people. You find that you're being supervised by somebody who is witch hunting you. I use the word witch hunting you all the time. Like you're with a person who will be criticizing you. And I guess it would be better when someone is correcting you, redirecting you to something.
The right way.
This is a person who is challenged at work. You go back home, there is no safe space. You go in the community, they're pointing at you. You go in your family, they're expecting you earn big. Everyone is asking, what am I for? Take
You
your
get
life.
overwhelmed.
Yes. You're basically, so people get overwhelmed, people get judged, and the environment gets unsafe
It's
and
very
toxic. So what are they left for?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also to think about, you talked about some of these items or people that the things that they can use to end their life. Do you think there is a lot of accessibility in some of these items?
Yeah.
That someone finds themselves that even when I have a challenge, if at all there was no availability, I may find it very hard for me even to attempt. Do you think right now there is a lot of access to some of these items that people can be in position to use?
Yeah, the access is there, and the access will always be there. But my bottom line is for people to be aware on how they deal with their distress. Because let me say, if it's a rope, we use ropes to tie goats, like to tie goats.
Yes.
When children are going back to school, they use them to tie their mattresses. People who are doing like a lot of business, they use ropes. Like the most important thing is for people to be aware of the changes that happen in their day-to-day life. That today you might be here having a job, tomorrow you might not be having it. So how do you go about it? Today you might be having a good business. Apparently in Uganda you're seeing what is happening with the business people. The taxes are hiking anytime. You're seeing politics is changing a lot of things. Yeah, so many things are happening.
Yes.
As who are in employment, you've seen what the Trump executive order has done. Many people have gone unemployed.
That's true.
So you shouldn't take your life because you've lost a job. There should be plan B. So what people need to learn is how they deal with the incoming distress, because it will always come. But how do I go about it? If I've had a challenge with a spouse, how do I deal with it? How do I amicably deal with a conflict at home? But also, how do I, even if I choose to walk out, how do I not affect myself, my children, and even the person I'm walking away from, so that you live peacefully? Because the most important thing is to have a peaceful coexistence.
Yes.
And also resilience, ability to live and to withstand whatever you're going through when a challenge has hit you. It's very, very important. So whether the items are there, even if I see a tall building, even if I see a rope, even if I see a rat poison, because some people have rat poison.
And also at home,
rats. They have those rodents in the house.
Yes.
Do you really have to take it? No. You have a challenge. Do you know how to support yourself? Do you know how to seek? Because now we should advocate for seeking for support. The families should come together and support these people who are undergoing a distress. It's very, 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 very important.
Because we have seen that most of the times the people who are even closer to us, they make us even feel more toxic, like the environment is becoming more toxic, that you find that someone is already struggling and they want to reach out to this person, but then they're like, what if they tell me this? So in one way or another, it's already the people that are around you that are making you even not to disclose, because already there is stigma. They thought that, for example, you've said that they know that you have a job, you're unwell, and in whatever case, they think that you are strong enough to handle problems. They can say, but for you even have money.
Yeah.
So which problems are you talking about?
Yes.
So someone feels like however much this family is really there, these friends are there, I don't know how they're going to be helping me.
Yeah, so I always tell people that I have an ideology, and my own philosophy in dealing with things is that even when family has left me, there is someone out there within the community, within who can support. First of all, however good, rich, or intelligent or best you may be, not every person will like you.
Yes.
Even when the family chooses not to support you, that's why I mentioned that people should go for professional support.
Yes.
For professional support, you can go to churches, you can go to mosques, you can go to any leaders around, but the most important thing there, talk to somebody.
Yes.
In fact, you shouldn't give up that I've gone to my sister, she has not helped me. My auntie, she has not helped me. It's not common that out of 10 people, all the 10 will refuse. Then I also call upon you, that person, check yourself.
Have you checked yourself? Why is
everyone not supporting you? But even the worst person on this earth can get that one person. So we should not cling on people who have failed to support us. Okay. We should continue seeking, because we encourage, continue seeking for support until you get the satisfaction of that support you may need. But you don't give up. You don't give up.
Okay, so according to our community and society right now, what do you think are some of the things that are really influencing a lot of suicide?
Apparently, like I told you, the contributing factors to suicide are quite broad and they are contextual. What may be a contributing factor of death by suicide, for example, in Kampala, and in Kampala, when I say maybe in the city, might be different with the contributing factor by the persons who are like in Gayaza or in Banda or something, because it is contextual and it is on individual basis. But what I can say, some of the contributing factors, it could be a mental disorder. Someone may have a mental disorder. Some of these mental disorders may be like someone is undergoing depression. And if somebody is undergoing depression, they may fail to deal with what they're going through. And they may choose to take their lives or to attempt. Because attempting, the plan may not succeed. But what they were interested in is to
The intention.
to complete.
Yes.
Because they intended to complete and to take their lives. Some other people may choose to take their lives or to attempt to commit suicide because in the family, some of the things ever happened.
Okay, so history.
So I also encourage people, if trust so much, even when you're looking for a spouse, if you're a partner and you have that history that those people ever, it's not stigmatizing, you need to deal with it.
Yes.
You need to support them to deal with it because history can repeat itself.
That's why when people are getting married, they say, do you know the family that you're marrying into or you're getting married into?
Exactly.
So meaning that they already want you to look into that family and see, are there suicidal tendencies?
Tendencies.
How are the people in that family behaving?
And you might find that even those suicidal tendencies or those suicidal attempts, all death by suicide, might have happened if there was maybe a disorder, a mental health disorder. Maybe there are people who are psychotic, they had schizophrenia, maybe they had a number of disorders.
Yes.
So it might be a family issue. It might be environmental. The environment can become toxic. We've been talking about
these days,
work.
The environment.
We've been talking about work. People get distressed at work. I'm telling you, sometimes people have not been hypertensive, but they get hypertension from work. The workload is too much. There are some workplaces where they never give people even leave.
Yes.
There are some workplaces, like we've talked about, having toxic supervisors or toxic colleagues. The environment where they are is very toxic. It might be influenced by political or religious or economic.
Yes.
You might live in poverty. Poverty itself, you cannot give yourself the basic
Needs.
Because the basic is you being able to have a meal,
Shelter.
3 meals a day, a shelter. People go through a lot. As yet, there are a number of things that apparently that can contribute. Where I work, some of the contributing factors have been food, because the refugees, they have cut their money, they have cut their food. So you find that the person has lost hope. I have nowhere to dig. The food has been cut. My children have to go to school. I have no money. I have no employment.
And remember, I remember the time in the refugee community, someone had to get food for a period of time.
Yes.
Like they give you, if we are getting food like on 20th, the next time we are getting food is another 20th.
Yes.
So I have to manage this food that I'm being given. So now imagine if this food that I've been given and it has to sustain me for a full month has been cut, and I have a family that is growing every now and then. Now imagine that person who doesn't have even where to dig, because the spaces that were there, something very small like this, so you cannot even dig.
And that's why most times we just have to, like I've told you, to create awareness that these things happen. But now we need to improvise, broaden our thinking, because that's you give them survival skills. How do you survive? Connect them to here. Even us, like here, I don't know how it is here, the people in Kampala, how they tell them, if, for example, like I told you, the young people, we need to be innovative. Even if you're in school, what is that extra thing you can do, first of all, to increase on your knowledge? Maybe earn you an extra income, even those who are in work.
A side hustle.
You can't depend on salary alone. Like, even when you get an extra income given to you, if you have a side hustle, you boost what you have. Like, you have different streams. People who are in entrepreneurship, they always tell us that you at least have 3 different streams of earning money here and there. Like, if salary has gone, you have business. You're selling your tomatoes. If the tomatoes can't go, you're selling your shoes. You have your plastic shoes you're selling on the street. At least one of them, they will not all collapse at the same time. So if in such instances, the likelihood of people having suicidal tendencies may be high if they are not aware of what is happening within the environment. So we need to create that awareness. That, guys, man, wake up. This is what is happening. Like in Uganda now, we wouldn't wait for maybe the president to come and tell
and
us.
talk about it.
It's us, because everything's, like I said, it
starts with you, me, you who's watching, everyone.
Every person. And it is an individual decision. We have been talking about the contributing factors. Even the decisions we make can land us into issues, into problems. You find yourself, you made that decision. I'm not going to give an example in this because there are a number of things.
Yes.
People draw themselves. Okay, let me give an example of people who risks are there, but there are businesses of high risk and low risks.
Yes.
So you find yourself, for example, you even have no background in a certain business, and you choose to take a loan, for example, of 100 million. And for people who are salary earners, it happens. They'll look at your salary probably, and they're like, you're earning good, they'll give you. But if you don't have a plan on how you're going to spend that money, you're going to recklessly spend it, you're going to fail to pay that loan. What is going to happen? Before you know it, you're like...
the bank is calling you.
You're getting panic attacks. You're getting... Your level of shooting to depression, it shoots so fast. You don't sleep, you get a lot of challenges. So I think we also need to live within our means.
And set realistic goals.
Do what is within what we can do. Like, do one thing at a time. Nobody is pushing us at the end of the day.
Yes, we should push ourselves, but to a limit.
To a limit.
Yes.
Pick what is within what you can afford, so that you're not on pressure. You're not on pressure. You who are you impressing?
And especially right now, we see people are moved by social media. You see someone every time they are traveling, and you're like, oh, my goodness. Yes. They have this car. They are putting up a building, and you're like, oh my goodness.
Yeah.
People in my age are having all this.
Exactly.
Where am I?
The comparisons.
The
comparisons people have. Like, probably I started with Asiat. But Asiat right now, she's driving a BMW, she's staying in Bokoto, she has a flat, she's having that big job. We are not supposed to grow at the same pace. And also, even when we are not at the same pace, we are not supposed to, like, we can still be happy when we don't have the same things.
Yes.
People need to have contentment with what they have, but it should not stop them from striving.
Yeah.
They need to move forward every other time. Consult, read books, strive, hard work. It's very, very important. But even when it fails, they should not lose hope. They should keep going.
It may not work out this time, but then later on it may. Because there are some people who have grown businesses and they're always failing.
Yes.
But then at the fifth time of trial, they find themselves that, the business has catched.
And it may also tell you redirect.
Yes.
You might be in a salon business, you don't get customers, and what? You try the first year, second year, third year, maybe you redirect.
Probably salon is not your thing.
It's not your thing. You go into clothing and you're doing well.
Yes.
You go into maybe general merchandise and you're doing well. So you need to discover yourself. It's very important that you discover yourself so that you do things that are within your means.
Especially for the young people.
They
are looking at people who in the older generation, and they want to achieve the things that these people have worked for the longest.
Exactly.
But for you are in your 20s and you feel like you want to be like the other person who is in their 40s.
Exactly.
But this person has worked all their life to get where they are. But you want to achieve this when you have just clocked 21, 22. You feel like things should even be much better than the other person. So for the young generation right now, because we are seeing there are a lot of suicide attempts, especially with the young generation. Remember, they are very repulsive. Just a small situation
triggers them,
and it triggers someone to do something, and they're like, I can't deal with this. For the young generation that is watching right now, even the older ones, but especially the young ones, what do you want to live with them, so that really they look at all the decisions that they are making, that losing or ending their life is not the solution.
To the young ones, and especially this generation, the young people, this generation is, first of all, I would tell them to embrace their young life, because it's very spacious and precious.
Yes.
They need to embrace that when they are growing at that stage, at any point in life, there are a number of challenges they undergo. But as they're undergoing those different milestones, they need to know that we need to seek for support. They do not have the potential to do it on their own. They can't do it on their own. They need to seek for support.
They even can get mentors.
They get mentors, and also the young people are not also going to do it alone. I will push it back to their families. The parents and caregivers of these young people, they need to befriend them. They need to befriend them. When parents and caregivers embrace these young people, they'll be open to tell them what they are undergoing, and they'll be open to always seek support from them, because I think you're very much aware that we have a number of young people who have drawn into drug addiction.
Yes.
Many, actually. Apparently, there are too many, and they're being supported in different centers around the country, in Butabika, in Entebbe, in
Safe Places also does
Safe
that.
Places is doing that, and we are doing a lot of that. Then there is another place in Entebbe, I've forgotten the name. But do you know what happens? It's because, unfortunately, the rich parents
They
think
don't have time.
they have too much to do, and they have given up on giving time to these young people. So parents need to give quality time. They may not be
Not
there
just
all the
time,
time.
but quality.
Quality time for these young people is very, very important. When they give them quality time, these young people will make good decisions to choose the right peers.
Yes.
Even when they're at school, they will not be influenced by the negative ones,
Yes.
because the parents have embraced them. They have talked to them. I'm telling you, Asiat, if a parent is friendly to a child, the child will tell you even the deepest secret, even the farthest where the wound is on his or her body, because you've embraced them. So that's the message I can leave to the young people. They need to know that challenges are part of life and a part of growth, but taking one whose life is not the end of the problem. Instead, you're going to bring more wounds to the people that have stayed behind.
Because your parents find themselves that even they don't want to go to work anymore.
Yeah.
They cannot go on with life without you.
Many times when you to check the homes where children there is death by suicide, all have attempted, the families never be the same. There is fear that is going to crop up in that family. There is distrust and mistrust that is going to crop up in that family. They're like, why? People are going to bring up this myth of like, there is a curse.
Or even this person was bewitched. The parents wanted money.
There is bewitching. They're going to start thinking irrationally. So you who takes your life, it is not ending with you. The family that has remained behind is going to be impacted to generations, because now the stigma is also going to crop up in the community. That family becomes an outcast. That if it is a school, it becomes an outcast. That school, a child committed suicide. These are things people should never take for granted. So we really need to help the young people. We need to help the adults and even the caregivers. Every person who gets in touch with communities, they also need to be listened to.
Okay, so when it comes to education systems, for example, secondary, we have seen very many children committing suicide in the secondary schools as well as university right now.
Yes.
So for the heads of those universities, or even for the lecturers, the teachers, the head mistresses, the matrons, these people who are really taking
care of the children
in those institutions, what do you want them to do at this particular time? Because most of them, they have a huge number of people that they are looking at, and they find themselves that they cannot concentrate on one particular person. How can they, which means should they do to find that they reduce on the cases that are happening in their institutions?
Thank you, Asiat, for that question. Let me also pose a question. What if the cause of these children committing suicide, or the young one, is these caregivers? Why don't we start with the caregivers? Why don't we start with these people who are in custody of these children? Because let me tell you something. When a child is in a safe environment, it will be difficult for them to think of endangering themselves. But when any child, even if it's actually, we're talking about children, but if we talk about, if it's
Even
marriage, as the adults, if you in a home, actually for the men, it is even worse. Society has painted it that it's the women who are undergoing challenges, but the men are in a hot seat in their homes. If I'm going to get back to that, but if a man is in a safe place back home, unless when there is something wrong with that person's brain, he'll give a safe place for the woman. You get? So it's same back to the children. If the children are well cared for, the children will come, they'll go to the matron. They'll even tell them, this is what I'm undergoing at home. If they're not safe at home, they'll talk about it with their matrons, they'll talk about it with their teachers. You get? So where I work, we have a strategy. We are starting with the caregivers. As we rehabilitate the children, we also look at the caregivers, because we don't want to rehabilitate the children, and giving them information and then dump them in rubbish. No, we want to work on the minds of the mothers, of the caregivers, of the teachers. They could be also undergoing, there is transference, what they call transference. You come from home, you're fighting with your husband, then they've given you these little kids, or these university students that you're a lecturer. But back home, you've been beaten.
There is fire.
Do you think you're going to give counsel?
Mountain.
No. Let's tackle things as they come, because it's a ripple. It starts with an individual. Someone who is kind will give kindness.
Of course. You can't pour from an empty cup.
Thank you. You can't give what you don't have. You can't. So let's start with these guys. Then we also have tailored programs for these children, or the students, or the workers. It should be holistic. The environment, that's the only way we are going to have a safe environment, when every person's needs have been catered for.
So in regards, you are meaning that if it has to do with the teachers also have to be treated. They have to get the support. The parents back at home, they have to get it.
So much.
The people at the workplaces where these people go to, they have to be supported as well.
So much. That's why for example, when you talk to the teachers, you tell them you have a maid at home. Give them time. Maybe give them some days off. I have this thing, like when I come back on weekends, my maid is off because I'm back. When holiday, they have a rota at home. My children, they're little, but they know that at least I'll do the breakfast, I'll do the lunch. Then on weekends, aunt will be off. If she has to go to check on her children, then me, I'll be with my children, I'll drive them around. I will not have lunch in the house because I'll go. So that she's off. When you see that happening in the home, even these children will see kindness. They'll take it to their friends, and even this auntie will show it to them, unless when auntie has a problem. But if you show kindness, they say you reap
what you sow.
Thank you. We need to create that space everywhere. We should not stop, like as mental health practitioners, we should not stop preaching kindness. We should not stop expressing kindness, like now that we are on this campaign of restoring hope by actions. If you want to show kindness, to get kindness, show it. Sow seeds of kindness and you'll harvest them.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I believe also, like you've said, it's a holistic approach. It means that we, the organizations that are doing mental health related approaches, we should not only stop at doing them from where we are working, but extend them to the communities where people are really suffering. Because I've seen the fact that many people fear going to these institutions. They're like, I'm going to go to Butabika. I don't think I can. So meaning that we should move the therapy from the areas where we are doing it right now. If it's an office, if it's a health center, we take it back to the community where people are exactly. Because I've seen where we, especially right now with the health in particular, you see that immunization is brought to the centers in the community. Blood camps where they have to give blood transfusion. They are brought to the community. When they're talking about malaria, they're bringing it to the community. So I believe so that if even as the health practitioners right now, we can move it, like you've said, we are doing it now by action.
Yes.
We move from wherever we are because already, first of all, there is a lot of stigma. The words that we are using, people are already fearing to express themselves. If I go to the community where these people are, I believe that most of them will be able to come and approach us. And there will be even that seeking behavior will improve.
The health seeking behavior, yes,
because most of the times we are talking about these things, and most of the times they stay here.
Actually, we just need to normalize it.
Yes.
The same way we have health outreaches, clinical outreaches, which are not mental.
Yes.
We need to normalize mental health outreaches. Like the same way in mosques, in churches where they come, that a nurse has come from the Ministry of Health.
Yes.
We need to normalize that there is someone who is going to talk about issues concerning mental health. We need to normalize that. And also us who are in mental health, who are mental health practitioners, we need to take over the spaces. When you have a platform, for example, I think I'm taking it upon myself wherever I'm like, yes, I'm a mental health practitioner. Can I have space to talk about ABC? Like now we're in this campaign. When we need to normalize. The same way we give politicians platforms on barriers, on words, we need to normalize and mainstream mental health related issues into everything that we do. Because if we do not do that, people think that having a disorder is for particular people. No, we are all potential candidates.
Yes.
All of us are potential candidates. Yes. You may not have a biological disorder, but you can pick an environmental one. Depression can be environmentally picked. Anxiety can be picked. People need to know that we are all potential candidates of a mental breakdown.
You, me, everyone.
Me, every person listening and watching, they need to know that. So when we know, it's more or less like all of us are potential candidates to any communicable disease. So we need to support those who are undergoing it. So if there is someone undergoing a mental health challenge, we need to support them, because you don't know what is going to happen tomorrow. God forbid you can lose a relative and it draws you into depression. So we need to normalize to live with it, but also normalize to create awareness.
I've liked the fact that these days there are more actions that are talking about mental health.
Yeah.
Not just words, but for example, that the gala that has been there, where you're seeing people from different radio stations, TV stations, Macquarie University School of Psychology was there.
Yes.
And SAMS, there are very many people who are coming up, meaning that we are trying to push this to everyone who can be able to come in this and get to understand that mental health is not just, even you who is having your shop in Gazaland, you can still talk about mental health.
Imagine you've talked about SAMS. SAMS is a nutritional company.
Yes.
I think they're into snacks and what.
Yes.
I was amused when I saw on the fixture that I was like, hey, so these guys have joined us. But let me tell you, you cannot eat if your mental health
is not okay.
It's not okay. You can't eat. Even if you have everything, you can't eat. You cannot do like, for example, my brothers here who are going TV and doing what.
Yes.
There is no way you're going to have a good focus if you're not mentally stable. That's why I always say everything starts and ends with our mind.
Yes.
I love that topic. I love mental health so much, because there is no way we can even refocus on whether driving, whether cooking, whether washing, when you're not stable.
Every part of our life.
Every part of our lives is like,
has to do with
we
our
move
mind.
mental health.
Yes.
It's a very beautiful thing that we really need to all embrace. That when it is antagonized, we're not going to do things in a good way.
Yes, our functionality
is going to be totally affected. These things we are seeing on social media, where people are abusing each other, it's because something is happening in the background. I think you and me know that it's not normal to go out in public and you're abusing, you're fighting, you're doing what. There is maybe something underlying that is pushing the person to do like that, because We're supposed to live in peace.
In harmony.
In harmony. Yeah, so
okay,
I think,
as we are closing, really, Lydia, we have had a very fantastic topic about suicide. And in this month, what words, as we are closing today's episode, do you want to leave to someone out there who has lost hope? What words do you want to leave them with?
What I want to tell people out there, especially right now, there could be somebody who has lost hope. It's not the end of the story. It's not the end of the story. Challenges come, but challenges go. You may tackle this one, tomorrow there's something that is going to come. Do not fear to speak out. I encourage every person, if you're undergoing something, find somebody to talk to. Within the family, if you can't find, seek for professional support.
Yes.
Seek for professional support. At least post, use the internet for something positive. Use your status that, guys, I'm distressed. You never know.
Can someone
Somebody
talk to
will
me?
come. I need somebody to talk to. Put on your status, put on your podcast, put on your Instagram, everywhere. But people need to know that challenges are here and they will not go today, but we live with them, but we can still get out of them. That's what I can say.
Okay, so thank you so much, Lydia, and we would love to appreciate the words that you've told us. Many that we have talked about suicide, the things that are really within our communities. We are talking about reality. We have seen this on the socials. We have seen it in our communities and our families. It's not so far-fetched that we are living with people who are having these challenges, and we are hoping that whatever we have really discussed, you put it into action. Seek for support. There is support from your loved ones, from your friends. If you don't feel comfortable talking to them, we are here to be able to support you. Kindly make a comment that I need help. I'm going through this. We shall be able to reach out to you. And also, if there is anything that you may need, you need referral, you need to understand which organizations can I reach out to, we can be in position to provide you that information. Kindly don't commit suicide or attempt to do it for any case, because these problems, as far as they are there, they are going to be continuously there, like Lydia has said. But we are hoping that things and life can still go on, because your life does really matter to all of us, and also your family members and the people that are surrounding you. It's All Mental Podcast, and we hope to see you in the next episode. My name is Asiat.